We've got Ted Cruz, U.S. not Al-Qaeda's Air Force. Cue that up. I want to play that in a moment. But before we go back to those clips, let me just give you some of the headlines here, ladies and gentlemen. Washington Times, Kerry holds objectors responsible for any future atrocities in Syria. When they started the whole thing and have been running the whole thing for 2.5 years, they're blaming it now on us. I mean, you got to love that. That's just too rich. Like if somebody ran their car into you running a red light and then got out and blamed you. McCain's playing poker during all this. It's a big joke to him. Just total mental patient. They asked him how many houses he owns. He didn't know. Nothing against owning things, but just, they don't even care. They don't even know. Democrat Congresswoman, only reason I'd vote to strike Syria would be loyalty to Obama. Syrian conflict opposition leader, the real opposition, criticizes plans for U.S. intervention as satanic to destroy the country. Even the real opposition that's genteel and doesn't like Assad for good reasons, just like Syrian girl's family. The real opposition says this is pure evil. Don't do it. That's Huffington Post. Jerusalem Post. Russia suspends delivery of S-300 missile systems to Syria. Putin says if you can show evidence he used chemicals, he will agree to the strike and might even help. But instead, no Western media wants to talk to Vladimir Putin. By the way, Obama isn't trying to talk to the Russians. It's come out in the news, but I've been told by our Russian sources as well, high-level Russian media, high level, that the Russian government is in bunkers, they're on nuclear alert. That's actually come out, and that they know about the Western elite, and they're actually freaked out, and that no one diplomatically will even talk to them now. You know, the diplomatic phones, all of it's dead. And nuclear weapons are being masked in the Middle East. Let's continue here. Rand Paul demands Obama adhere to Congress on Syria. Absolutely. Article by Paul Watson up on INFOWARS.com. INFOWARS.com. Also, Ron Paul gets cut off by CNN. We have that video up on INFOWARS.com. Will Congress reject Obama's attack on Syria? INFOWARS.com. Very important breakdown there. President Bashir al-Assad's full interview translated into English on INFOWARS.com. And he says, first off, you've just got to show evidence we did it. We didn't do it. You're setting us up. It's a frame-up. And it just continues. New polls out with the vast majority of Americans, ABC News poll, opposing military strike on Syria. Now, getting into the really important news on Syria. The chairman of the Joint Chiefs, Dempsey, can't say what U.S. is seeking in Syria. And he went on to say he doesn't know why this is going to happen. Because Dempsey said on record it's a bad idea. David Cameron rules out any further military action in Syria. Even if there's new attacks, he's now said they're not going to be part of it. And you know why? Because they're not insane and they love their children. And they understand that Iran and Syria are going to launch missiles at Israel, and then there's probably a 50-50 chance, most estimates are, that Israel's going to start nuking people. And then, folks, the minute nukes detonate, it's over. Do you understand? It's over. But these power-tripping, demonically possessed globalists who literally bathe in feces want to bathe us in fire while they go down in their bunkers and laugh about it. Because they are psychopaths. They are nutcases who all need to be arrested immediately. But remember, none of this is their fault. It's all our fault, as Kerry said. Andelson, Bloomberg reports, new Obama ally as Jewish groups back Syria strike. The lobbyist and billionaire that gave $70 million to defeat Obama last year in the elections is now getting behind Obama, saying he needs to attack. Yeah, that's a great idea. That's a really, really great idea. And it just goes on and on and on, ladies and gentlemen. And meanwhile, everybody in America is still obsessed with last week with Hannah Montana or whatever idiot name is now, Miley Curtis or whatever, bending over and being humped on. And again, folks, if adults want to watch that stuff, that's their business. This stuff is targeting young girls. The satanic stuff in the videos aimed at preteen youths is absolutely out of control. Just like the sex education that Obama's pushing for 5-year-olds. Teaching them how to, well, I can't even say it to an adult audience. I mean, just you name it. They're pedophiles. They're devil worshippers. But we put up with it. Well, they're the federal government, and they say teach 5-year-olds how to have anal sex. And everybody's like, well, yeah, if you don't do that, you're racist. Obama's black. So it's okay. Let the pedophiles teach your kids how to do all this stuff. We'll be right back with the key news on the nukes being transferred.
Hello, this is Hank Hill, and I'm telling you what, you need to listen to Alex Jones.
Yeah. INFOWARS.com.
Judge, what is the secret of the universe?
INFOWARS.com.
By the way, Dave Mustaine's coming into town this weekend in Austin to play with Iron Maiden. And he's invited me out to hang out with those guys. And who knows, we might have an interview for you next week. Get Dave's take on all this. Dave of Megadeth, obviously. I love his new album, Super Collider. But, you know, it's hard to even enjoy stuff like that when all of this stuff's going on around us in the world that could absolutely destroy all of our futures. I mean, I can't even make myself leave the office now, even though I want to be with my children more than anything, because they don't have a future if we don't stop this. And as soon as I start driving down the road, sometimes I turn around and come back and I think of all the things I need to do, all the things I need to say, all the messages I need to get out, because history's happening. What we're putting out is actually being picked up by all the other big talk show hosts. And more we see it being mirrored, and that is the essence of changing things, is the spirit of truth getting out there, and we're a big part of that. And all the glory goes to God, but it's very, very daunting. When I start the next hour, I'll get into our top story that's up on INFOWARS.com and PrisonPlanet.com. Exclusive, high-level source confirms secret U.S. nuclear warhead transfer and why this is such a big deal. And I wish this source wasn't so good and wasn't a witness to it and wasn't so confirmed. I mean, I just cannot believe I'm breaking news like this. This is just unbelievable. And it totally freaked out the military people and the police that were there. And if you don't know why, folks, it's because there was no signing for the warheads. These warheads just disappeared off into trucks down the road. And the base commander was there to authorize it. And there weren't even supposed to be nukes at this base. And I know I just got into Skull and Bones and all that, but I mean, look at the Masonic Lodge in Michigan they just busted with an orgy going on in it. That's nothing, folks. Those are women. Those are guys, you know, consenting adults. I don't agree with it, but that's nothing, folks. Those guys aren't going to get invited to the higher level stuff. Masons didn't do stuff like that in George Washington's day. The Illuminati took over the Masons. The Masons go back to Egypt and to the wizards who were not Satanist. Solomon picked up on that afterwards. So you had the main colleges, which were agrarian and science and math and architecture, but it was also religious. And then you had the secret cults within it, kind of like the Jedi and the Sith, you understand? And so the Masons tend to get blamed for what the Sith are doing, but it's actually that the Sith, to use that analogy, use the Masonic Lodge to recruit out of. And that's what George Washington wrote. You can read his letters against the Illuminati from 1889. He died in 1800. I go from memory. You can pull those up, National Archives, signed by George Washington, scans of them. He battled the Illuminati. This is real, ladies and gentlemen. This is real. And you don't get entry into these clubs unless you're part of it. I want to tell you about Infidel Body Armor. InfidelBodyArmor.com stops hundreds of rounds from AK-47 to M4, 30-06, 30-308, more. Ceramic only stops 6 rounds. This stops hundreds. They have all sizes. Level 3 armor, incredible pricing. Online catalog is amazing. InfidelBodyArmor.com or 888-608-6605. 888-608-6605. InfidelBodyArmor.com. And don't forget InfoWarsStore.com. Buy the books, the T-shirts, the videos, all the material, the Pro Pure water filters. That's what funds our operation. So fund us. Feed us.
Now you can watch the INFOWARS Nightly News streaming live as it happens for free.
Check it out at INFOWARS.com/show.